For our team project, we decided to work with Students for Sustainability, or SFS. The name essentially speaks for itself. SFS is an internship program run by students for students that gives undergraduates at the University of Arizona and members of the surrounding community the opportunity to get involved. Initiated in 2008, it's funded by the UA Green Fund, which it helped establish, and promotes environmental awareness on campus. It does this in part by working with University of Arizona management to implement new sustainable programs such as Compost Cats and the UA Community Garden. According to the SFS homepage, Students for Sustainability is a student organization which empowers student leadership, pursues institutional sustainability, and promotes environmental awareness in the University of Arizona community.
For our volunteer project, our team chose to volunteer with Students for Sustainability in their Garden in the Desert program. This program allowed for us to work with other students in efforts to create a local garden on campus using unused spaces on the University of Arizona campus. The site that our group volunteered at was located behind the Highland parking garage.
When we first arrived at the Garden in the Desert, we were immediately put to work, and were to start by driving fence posts into the ground around each flower bed. After this was done, we were to wrap chicken wire around the fence posts to protect the beds from wild animals. This only consumed a few minutes of time as we were moved on to our main task for the day, which was shoveling and sifting dirt. In this picture, we are shoveling dirt from a construction site next door into one of the university's trucks that was lent to us for the project. The dirt was to be taken back to the site where the garden was so that it could be sifted. The dirt was then shoveled off of the truck onto a large sifter that was provided by the organization. The point of the sifter was to take away any medium to large sized rocks in hopes of leaving a fine dirt. This dirt was lighter and easier to shovel.
The fine dirt was then shoveled into wheelbarrows. It was evenly distributed between the plots and firmly tamped down to form elevated walkways. These walkways will hopefully redirect the large amount of rain that we get here in Arizona into the garden beds instead of away from them. This will also cut down on water waste as well as prevent large water puddles from forming on the paths. Reusing the dirt is a good representation of what sustainable living is about. Taking something that still has a little value and finding ways to reuse it to increase its value and keep unnecessary waste out of landfills. Our final project of the day involved burying parts of the drip irrigation system that was protruding from the ground. This drip irrigation system gets its power from solar electricity and is close to the ground to prevent unnecessary evaporation. Using hand tools, small channels were dug to lay the tubing in and were buried with dirt and packed down. This will protect the irrigation from wear and tear, freezing temperatures, and improve the overall appearance of the garden.
Our volunteer work with Students for Sustainability succeeded in making Tucson a better place. By volunteering with Students for Sustainability and working with their Garden in the Desert program, our group was able to improve the Tucson community by creating a beautiful local garden in an area that was once unused. Our volunteer work done at the Students for Sustainability's Garden in the Desert reflects what we have learned in class because this program promotes environmental education. It strives to educate the students at the University of Arizona about their personal impact on the environment, and it also offers ways to improve the way that we consume. By volunteering at the Garden in the Desert program, our group realized that our efforts in creating a local community garden gave other local members of the Tucson community the opportunity to get involved as well. Since the garden was built using recycled materials, it is also very environmentally friendly.
Overall, it was definitely worth working hard for a day on something that really mattered because it gave us a sense of pride in something that is great for our community. The garden will soon be planted and will turn into a mix of plants that are self-sustainable, low cost, and have a positive impact on the environment. For our group, this is definitely the best way we could have spent our service hours on making an important contribution to our community.